how to create an assignment and a peer editing assignment in Turnitin.com. So the first thing you need to have done is created a class. So when you log into Turnitin.com and go to the home screen, you have to create your class. I create a class for each of my periods, but it's up to you if you want to have it mixed together or separated by class. The good thing about having it separated by class is that if something's due on an A day, you can set the date for that, and the class who has it on a B day, you can set the specific date for that. So I'm going to go to my English 10 class. You'll notice here there's a class ID. All the students need to have that, as well as the password you create when you set it up. That's how they can enroll in your class. They need to do that on their own. They log into Turnitin.com, enroll in a class, and then put those codes in. So when I go to this class, I have made several assignments, but I'm going to go over here to Add Assignment and make a new assignment for this. Paper assignment is the base thing, the base assignment I'm going to create. Then afterward, I'm going to make a peer mark assignment. So I'm going to click Next Step. I'm going to call this Biotech Essay Rough Draft. Don't worry about the point value because we're not actually going to be grading it on this. The start date I'm going to leave today so it can be open right away. The due date I'll change to the 1st at 10 p.m., which would be 22 o'clock. The post date is when the scores are available to a student. So normally it doesn't matter, but for this assignment, it matters. This has to be before the peer editing assignment starts. So I'm going to set it to March 1st, and I'm just going to set it to midnight, or 23:59, so that it's about 2 hours after. Then if you click on Optional Settings, you can put some special instructions if you want them. I usually allow submissions after the due date. It will mark for you which ones are late, but it still will allow them to upload something late. You want them to be able to see their originality report so they can check it themselves. So if you leave most of these options as they are, it will work. Don't worry about grade mark, we're not using that. But this is our new thing, ETS E-Rater. This is what's going to allow the computer to check the grammar for you. So I'm going to click Yes. We'll use high school, both US and UK. And then I'm going to check all of the options here, spelling, grammar, usage, mechanics, style, and then submit. That will create the assignment. Okay. Now I have this assignment here. It's due March 1st at 10 p.m. If I add another assignment, this time I'm going to choose peer mark assignment. Next step. It's going to ask me to choose the base assignment. So I'm going to choose the Biotech Essay Rough Draft that I just assigned. These dates need to be after that. So I'm going to do starting at March 2nd, and I want them to do it sometime before March 4th at midnight. That way the students have a few days to complete this assignment. You can do it however you want to. Then the post date should be soon after, so I'm actually going to make it right away. You want that pretty soon after because that's when students will be able to log into their account and see their peer comments and then make revisions as necessary. If you go to more options, it gives you a lot of, you can allow them to read all papers after the start date if you want them to be able to look at each other's papers, not just the ones that they review. And late papers, if a student sends one late, other students who haven't reviewed one yet will be able to review that. So it can be included. So I'm just going to change that date to March 4th at 11:59 p.m., the same date, so that it still can, if someone's left to review their paper, even if they turn it in late, they can get it reviewed. So I'm going to save and continue. Now I'm going to decide about how many peer editing assignments they should each do. If I'm for this automatically distributed, when a student logs in to do peer editing, the system will just give them a paper that hasn't been edited yet. This, you can give them the option to select their classmate of who they want to edit, and you can require them to edit their own papers on Turnitin.com. So I'm going to suggest that you have them each do 2 papers that are automatically distributed. Don't select any on their own, and it's up to you if you want them to do the self-review. Save and continue. When each student logs in after the due date, so after March 1st, when they log into their account, it will show peer mark, and then they choose start reviews, and the Turnitin.com will give them one of their student papers. They're going to have questions to answer, and they can also add comments. So in this next screen, it's going to ask me to add questions about Turnitin.com. Sorry, it's acting kind of slow here. Okay, so here you can add instructions if you want to. Just like read the paper and answer the questions. Here you can add questions. There's free response questions. Like I could say, how can the student improve the thesis? Okay, and then they would have to answer using at least 10 words. If you want, you can add questions like that. You can also add questions from the library. So library has a sample library. Like here, rate this paper's overall readability. I like that question. It's going to give them a scale where it's a 1 to 5 scale. So you can choose any of these questions that you want them to answer. Anything specific that you think you'd like them to answer about their question, about the student's paper. Okay. When you've added some questions, then you'll just click Save and Finish. Now when a student logs in, they will have the option to answer those questions and also add comments. So I'm going to show you how they can add comments if you want to show them. So I'm going to go to a student's paper here from one of my other assignments. And when it opens up, I can show you how they can add comments, and this is also how you can grade the papers when you add the final draft assignment and grade the final draft. Sorry, the internet's a little bit slow. It's taken a bit. All right, well, it's not coming up, so actually I'm going to end it here. But remind your students that they should add comments as well as answer the questions. Then you're able to log in and see if the students have completed their 2 peer reviews, as well as what comments and what answers to the questions they put. So you might want to give them an LB grade based on if they did the peer review or not, or how well they did it. All right, this is taking too long, so I'm going to end there. I hope that was helpful.